I get way more love than criticism.
Yes, you do.
Way more love than criticism.
Yes, you
But,
do.
people love the negativity. They flock to it. I mean, if I had that many critics, why am I the only person in this century who has built an independent black institution from the ground? Relevant institution. I'm talking school, bank, supermarket, hospital, distribution. I'm the only one to do it. No white money. First school in the history of this country built by Africans from all over the world. Never before done.
What I want to say is, you get a lot of criticism. You know what I mean? Also, you get a lot of love and light too. And I want to get into that. So I want to give you your flowers for just being somebody that put yourself out there with speech. Because I know I found out about you just by me wanting to get knowledge of stuff and knowing about the Black Power movement that came across you. And you helped me a lot with what I know, who I am. So I just want to thank you for having the courage to speak when somebody needs to speak for it.
Appreciate
it. People like the streets, they love you because now they have somebody public that's tangible to talk to, opposed to studying their ancestors. You know, there's somebody that's in the flesh they could look at too and get real rhetoric from that feels powerful. And I love that the world's starting to see your true message because they see that you're not, like what you said in the Birth Club, love that you was like, I'm not racist. I'm just for my people, but I'm just speaking for my people. I'm like that was heavy. I just want to give you your flowers and thank you for speaking
that,
for
bro.
us.
Appreciate that.
It's real.
The name of the school is Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey.
Yes, sir.
Institute. That's the name of the school. How do you feel as though, like, in the years from now, 100 years from now, you're gonna be mentioned with them guys? You feel me? The great people we talk about. How does that feel? No, you.
I don't really worry about that because then you start getting into vanity and narcissism. And I mean, I know who I am in this movement. I know ain't nobody on my level. I know I get more love around the planet than any black scholar walking. I know all that. I know can't nobody touch me on a microphone. I know all that, but I'm here to help my people. You know what I'm saying? I was sent here to do what I can to try to finish the work that my ancestors started. So I try not to get caught up in all of that kind of stuff because when you die, people going to say all kind of things about you, some true, some not true. So you don't really control your narrative after you're gone. I'm just trying to do what I can do, while I'm here. I do know who I am. I know what I represent. I see it, every day. I be on the airplane and everybody come by taking a picture. And the stewardess is like, who are you? Are you an athlete? No. Are you an entertainer? No. I'm a clinical psychologist. You know what I mean? But they assume you're a rapper. They assume he must be a rapper. He must be a football player. He must be, no, I'm none of that. Peace and Pan-Africanism. This is the Prince of Pan-Africanism, King Kong Consciousness, Dr. Umar Ifatunde. I'm live and direct at ACAF, African Cultural Arts Forum. I've been coming here since I was 20 years old, a baby Garvey. I don't cease to be more. Y'all better pull up to ACAF right here. My elders been holding this down forever. We got everything you need. We got the incense. We got the shea butter. We got the sea moss. We got the herbs. We got African jewelry. We got African artwork. You will see some of this artwork inside of the FDMG Academy, but make sure you pull up. But no
Intellectual.
Yeah, but I never seen that, and unfortunately, Dr. Khaled and Brother Malcolm and all them, they didn't have the benefit of social media. So it wouldn't be fair to compare my impact to theirs because they didn't have this. If they had this, they would be 50 times stronger than what they were. I just happen to benefit from it without even really using it so much. I don't have a YouTube page.
A lot of people know who Malcolm X is. Can you build real quick for our audience on a little bit about the importance of Khalid Muhammad? Because people don't hear about him as much, and why they don't hear about him as much.
Well, they don't hear about Dr. Khalid as much. Number one, Dr. Khalid is dark-skinned. So, we still suffer from a very serious light-skin supremacy issue in the black community. When you look at most of our leaders post-slavery, with the exception of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, you could put Amos Wilson there as well, but he was more of a scholar versus a leader. Most of our leaders could pass the brown paper bag test. And there's a reason for that, because black people still have an aversion to dark skin, even dark skin leadership. So that's one issue why you don't get a lot of Dr. Khalid. The other issue is he was unapologetic. He was very much so. He was very much about the independence of African people, politically, economically, socially, and so forth. He was not an integrationist. And when you're not an integrationist, you get excluded from the historical narrative, especially your accomplishments are withheld. For example, today, If I'm not mistaken, or yesterday we celebrate the birthday of Henry Highland Garnett. Henry Highland Garnett was Marcus Garvey before Marcus Garvey. He was the first black minister to give a speech to the U.S. Congress, and he was the father of Pan-Africanism. I actually went to visit his gravesite when I was in Liberia a few years ago. And Henry Highland Garnett should be as well known as Frederick Douglass. He was a contemporary of Frederick Douglass. Ran away, escaped from slavery to freedom, one county away, Kent County. One county away from where Frederick Douglass escaped and one county away from where Harriet Tubman escaped. But he doesn't get the attention because he was dark-skinned and he was Pan-Africanist. He didn't see any need for white people in our movement. And Dr. Khaled didn't see any need for white people in our movement. Garvey didn't either, but Garvey, you know, being the greatest leader of the 20th century in the way he organized, you know, organized more black people than any leader before or since. So they couldn't hide Garvey as much because of the accomplishments, but they still hide him too, you know. But I think independence of thought, independence of action, that automatically sets you up as a competitor, a rival to the white power structure. And they don't want rivals. They would much rather accept the leadership that accommodates racism. They would much rather accept the leadership that wants to participate in the white power structure as opposed to challenging it.
African Cultural Art Forum. This is the only place I get my shea butter from. Always. It's moisturizing. It smells good. I absolutely love it. All my friends love it, so I'm here to buy some for my friends. So come to African Cultural Forum, 52nd Street, and get your scented shea butter.